Now, it's time for the Varsity Radio Show. Here's your host, Seth Henniger.
Yeah, and we're so excited to be here. I am fired up today for this show. I'm fired up for who's in the studio with me. I'm fired up.
Who is it?
Man.
Who is it?
I got Duke the dog from
Duke the
Secret
dog.
Life of Pets. He's
That's
sitting
me.
to my right. He's fantastic.
I'm fantastic.
In all honesty, he has become one of my favorite people in the whole world. He makes me laugh when I'm with him. He is a gift to his wife. She doesn't know it yet, but he will. She will one day.
One day she will understand.
One day. He
One
is
day.
my good friend,
Woo woo.
Jordan McDaniel.
I'm here.
I feel like he needs to do an
always
Irish jig right after I say
You
that.
want me to do an Irish
Will
jig?
you please?
Yeah, I'll do it under the table.
Okay.
And it's done.
Also,
Hope you saw it.
I don't like saying also. Also in the studio, he is a future radio producer, Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. We're going to come up with an award.
Already.
You're so good with Photoshop.
Yeah.
I think we need to make him an award. So he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. If we make it one way or another, he is the man. We call him the Willy Wonka of radio. He slides the sliders, pushes the buttons. Steven Spiegel.
What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. We got a good show lined up. We got a lot of memes. We got some videos to talk about. Rockstar's going to make an appearance. We got some Kev. And I don't know, it might talk about a Super Bowl commercial or two.
Yeah. You know what, Steven? And then on top of that,
on top of it all,
this is going to be a great show.
Great show.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because I get to have, and you get to ask questions to one of my coaches.
All right.
When I used to sit on the bench, and it was great. He is a Arab legend. Coach David Hall will be in the studio at 3:30. You're not going to want to miss it. So, do not miss the show. Let's
Coach
get
Hall.
started.
Let's do it.
With Meme of the Week.
Meme of the Week.
Memes of the Week.
And I would like to say this before I talk about this meme.
Is this a disclaimer?
Yes, it's a disclaimer that it was you who sent it and not me,
did.
because I feel like I was the one that got the real prize.
Oh, yeah.
But this is a picture of Jordan staring off at a beautiful mountain, looking at the ocean or the lake,
Whatever.
saying, wondering how I can get my wife the perfect Valentine's gift when she already has me.
And I'm going to tell you something, Seth. This is a struggle every year. Every year I wake up on Valentine's Day and I'm like, yeah, I can get her a box of chocolates. I can get her a bunch of stuff, but she already has me.
Right.
So what does she need?
What else in life do you
She's
need?
already fully fulfilled.
I mean, yeah, we're going to talk about that later on in the show, but yeah. When you got Jordan, what else mattered? And Jordan, he took, and this is hilarious, he took a political thing and he made it really funny. So I don't know if any of y'all remember Donald Trump's last State of the Union. We're not, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter. It's this meme and it's hilarious.
This is what matters.
And yeah, tell them about that.
So basically, I mean, everyone was memeing Nancy Pelosi ripping up. I guess it was Trump's speech actually.
Yes,
His
State of the Union.
Yeah, State of the Union
Yeah.
just written out. So she rips it up. So someone made a meme template, and I put "Be My Valentine." Circle one, yes or double yes, and I put a nice little picture of Donald Trump giving a little smoochy smooch.
And she rips it up.
I'm just gonna tell you, this was third grade, man. This was third grade for me.
It just all the sudden makes sense.
Yeah. And you got to understand that I thought I was being smart in third grade by not giving the option of no.
Yes.
You just say yes or double yes.
Steven, why didn't we do this?
Yeah.
Why did we, yes or double yes? And I think we would have had. I think asking that girl out would have been so much easier.
The odds rise that you're gonna at least get a response. Sadly, the ripping of the pages was a response.
Yes. So, John Walrus on a beach, showing himself off proud.
Yeah.
Me showing off my hot dad bod to my wife.
Man.
Looking like a walrus.
Her cup runneth over.
Yeah.
As they say.
Okay. See, have y'all ever... Okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to tell on myself, Steven. You're going to appreciate this.
Let's do it.
So me and Jordan, we're in ministry.
We are.
And
don't know how that happened.
In ministry, I go to quite a few funerals.
Yeah.
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 And this hadn't happened here, so if anybody wants to judge me. But me and the children's pastor at my last church, we would go to funerals, and we couldn't sit beside each other because we would laugh the whole way through. It's terrible, but you gotta cope. You gotta cope, and it's a picture. You want to explain it?
It's I think this is from Shrek, actually. I want to say, but it says serious situation in my brain, and there is a feller holding a sign that says laugh.
The executioner, right beside him. Says laugh.
And it's just, you gotta. This is true. Like when
in
sometimes
the middle of those situations.
In the middle of those situations, you sometimes think of like the funniest thing.
Yes.
And
yes, Stephen, I need you to be like truly, really honest. Have you ever been in that situation? You're like, I should not laugh.
But
I've got to.
Right. Yeah, I've been there before. Who hasn't, right?
Yep.
It's one of those things you catch yourself before you really bust out laughing.
Yeah. And I've been in the middle of a funeral and that's happening. I'm like, I just know for myself, there's certain people I can't sit with.
I'll have to tell you a story off the air.
No one. Youth pastors, this guy in his 80s dressed and.
I mean, look, I'll go ahead and tell you.
He's got a man bag. I have never worn a man bag.
No, never. I've never, but this kind of, the whole white t-shirt and jeans and stuff and the awesome shoes. Oh, yeah, I've done this. I feel
personally attacked.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Me with no coat. This was me and Sarah this morning. Wow, it feels fantastic outside. My wife, 30 layers of clothes. Yeah. This happens in our church office all the time.
And this also,
Hey. Oh, yeah, I have been in this situation. And then right here.
Oh, yeah, I love this one.
You ever been on a diet or a workout? Me checking to see if that salad I ate last week has worked its magic yet. We need to Pooh staring at his belly.
Good old Pooh Bear.
That's great.
Oh,
when you get your 1-year-old son with the what's that on your shirt, and I can't say that other way, and the little kid looks down and you bop his nose, it's a human insult. It's devastating. You're devastated.
You have to let the child know, because George just laughs. He goes, and I'm like, no, you're doing it wrong.
That's right.
You're devastated, son.
Yes.
This is a
don't laugh at me.
This is a devastating maneuver.
You're supposed to not feel good in this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What is his name?
This is Ben Stiller from, I believe, Dodgeball. Yeah. And his name of the movie was White Goodman. Yeah. Jennifer says I do this all the time.
People that park in the back parking spots.
We're better than you, and we know it.
That's right. That's right. So what is it from Napoleon Dynamite? The Chuck Kwando or whatever?
Yeah, Chuck Kwando.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, this is Chuck Kwando.
Grab the wrist. No, the other wrist.
Sweep the leg. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's so
good.
good.
No, it's Rex Kwando. Rex Kwando.
Yeah,
that's right. It's
and,
Rex.
From the Super Bowl, Stephen.
From Super Bowl.
I want to make that. There he is, right there. And so, beautiful touchdown by Alabama quarterback Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Terrible fumble by Oklahoma quarterback Jalen Hurts.
And this is true. That is cold. That's cold.
Yeah, it's
son.
So true.
Very funny.
So true.
But very cold.
So true.
Ice cold.
Yes.
One might say.
All right. This concludes Meme of the Week. I know you're crying over there. Hey, we want to tell you about Charburgers, home of the famous
best.
char-grilled Wildcat Burger, Philly cheesesteaks, and jumbo crispy onion
So good.
rings. And then B&B Video Games. It's got the 80s style arcade in the back, video game retail store in the front.
Woo-hoo!
B&B Video Games. Hey, we got a few minutes and we're going to have FCA Carter Duncans calling in.
My man.
Steven?
Carter D. Whoa, baby.
I thought he wouldn't be here till 3:15. So after he eats, he does FCA. We can bring him in.
Yeah, bring him on in. Yeah, let's have fun.
He's gonna do good.
Let's have ourselves a good time.
But, I think he's right there. But
yeah,
there is food. Yeah, I got him a good burger.
Thank you, Steve-O. Steve-O really keeps us on the straight and narrow. I think
Yes, he's legendary. You really need to make him an award.
Yeah.
What?
So here's the issue is it'll just be a meme, so I can print it.
I've got it.
That's even better.
He's not in here.
Yeah, if
so
I
you need
print
to put
the
an
meme.
Oscar Mayer wiener on top of it.
If I print, and it'll be his Oscar. It'll be his Oscar. And the Oscar goes to Steven Spiegel.
Yes.
But here's the issue. Unless
he's not in here, folks. I mean, he's going to go back and listen to this. We know, but he's getting an Oscar.
And unless I have a 3D printer, which I don't. Ooh, that could be what the budget's for.
It's hilarious.
It's not going to.
Steven just missed that
it's
moment.
Just gonna be, it's just going to be a sheet of paper. But that'll be fine.
Hey, Steven, don't rewind the show.
Don't spy on us.
Because we don't want to spoil a surprise we have for you.
We're being sneaky.
Because we like you so much.
Gotcha. Okay. I think he's going to do it.
I mean, we turned you into a Spartan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was a good move.
Steven the Spartan. Or Spartan Steve. Ooh, Spartan Steve sounds pretty good.
What do you want to be, Steven?
Hey, that works for me.
Spartan Steve?
Spartan Steve?
I'm Gave. I'm game.
You're Gave?
Gave.
I'm Gabriel.
Game.
For Narnia.
I'm Gabriel. For Narnia!
For Narnia!
Fam!
Fam,
where are you?
Can you not see that happen? Can you imagine his mom?
Look, here's the thing.
Why are you playing around shipping containers?
Yeah, just in case you're not following, 2 or 3 weeks ago, it's definitely the story I've thought about that the most. Little Indonesian boy or whatever was playing hide and seek, got trapped in some shipping containers, and his name was Fayum. And throughout the past 3 weeks,
he got stuck in there for 8 days.
Yeah, for the past few weeks.
Yes.
When George is doing something, I'm like, oh, whoa. Who is that? Who is that swole man right there? Oh man! Wow!
So funny.
Wow!
Steven,
I am telling you
that
what.
is the body I always dreamed of.
Yeah. It's not the body
minus the head.
I'll go. Yes, it's not the body I dreamed of because I currently have it.
Hey,
so I mean, heyo.
You know,
I was telling
a lot of work went into that.
I was actually not a whole lot. You know what? People say fitness is hard. It's really easy. I'm serious. I ate some hot dogs.
You can fit a lot in your mouth.
I ate some hot dogs. Yeah. Did some chin ups. Did some tricep workouts and like 2 sit-ups, and I walked out of the gym looking like that.
We just want to say we're proud of your progression.
Yeah, I made a lot of progress.
If Steven gets really good, we need to stick a green screen behind you so you look like that all the time. We can make him wear one of those green suits.
Yeah,
Steven.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I appreciate it.
Just think of all the things we could turn Jordan into.
Yeah, just think about it.
You'll
promise me this. But it won't be that. Jordan, we promise. It looks like you have a 6-pack. We promise.
And you look like Boba Fett.
Yeah, Boba Fett.
This did not go the way I wanted it to.
I'm going to tell you something. I mean,
all right, guys, y'all ready for some FCA?
Please.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Do you want to show Carter this picture so he knows what he's dealing with?
Yeah.
Carter! What's up?
Carter!
I joined at a time where the first thing I heard was Boba Fett, and then Boba Fett, and I got to figure out what's going on.
You're a big Star Wars.
5 seconds, guys. 5 seconds.
Here we go.
Forget everything you heard.
The FCA Moment of the Week.
I am so excited
to
have the legend, the myth, I said that wrong.
The man.
The one.
The
only. Carter Duncan.
Carter D.
Carter Duncan. I can hear people screaming. Yeah! Okay.
Yeah!
Carter Duncan. In the house with that legit beard.
What's going on, guys?
You are such a cool guy, Carter.
Yeah, Carter. What's up, man?
Yeah, thank you.
Somebody's gifted.
I'm grateful that y'all let me crash y'all's program. I feel like I need to bring my A game every single week, because there's just.
I'm gonna. Jordan, did you watch FCA Moment of the Week last week?
I didn't get a chance to.
It was one of my favorite in the last 5 years. So he looked like a national weather man, and he was doing projection behind. Actually, he was at DAR, and I thought he was doing Eagle Week. I'm like, okay, Carter, tell us about the Eagles, but he was talking about FCA. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Close.
Yeah, it's a very exciting time for us right now. We're in the middle of interview sessions right now for summer interns coming in, which is very, very exciting. We got a handful from Gunnersville. I've already done a couple interviews for some guys there.
Yeah.
And then people from all over. We got people signed up for the interest meeting all the way from Douglas to Decatur this year. And so
nice.
Hazel Green and Sardis. So we got people from all over wanting to be part of the summer this year. It's going to be great. And if you have someone who still wants to intern, let us know. We'll see what we can do about it. If they want to volunteer, that's a huge thing as well. We love volunteers at our camps, giving them a little piece of what the internship looks like, and also helping us out to bring the gospel to kids at sports camps all over. It's something that's, I don't know, it's been super encouraging for me this week because I get so caught up in, with our job getting ready for camp, and getting ready for all the details that go into it, and then getting to interview these high schoolers that are going to be serving at the camps. And one of the questions we ask is, what are some things you think are important for an intern to have? And they keep coming back to joy, and I think that's something that's really, really encouraged me this week because, if we forget the joy that we have in Christ, and the reason that we do these camps is to bring that joy to people who have never experienced Jesus before, then we can lose the whole point and the whole mission of what we're doing. And so that I'm more fired up now than ever before listening to these interns tell their stories about why they want to serve and how they want to get involved, and it's going to be incredible.
Wow.
Awesome.
And if you're ever around Carter Duncan in real life for like 5 minutes, you understand why you want to be an intern around Carter Duncan.
Yeah.
In that 5 minutes.
Carter, I want to be an intern. I'm a little old, but I want to be an intern.
Jordan would like to sign up.
You check.
What? We could make an exception potentially.
Yeah.
He said potentially.
Ooh, so I have to prove myself.
You've got to get a background check.
Yeah.
That's for sure going to happen.
It's going to happen.
You can't look at my driving record, Carter. That's off limits.
Let me tell you, though, there is a way you can get involved.
There you
go.
go.
Trying to find something to do with FCA. Tuesday, April 4th, coming up very, very soon.
Mm-hmm.
We are having our home team celebration dinner, which we're very, very excited about. We used to have these every single year. Then COVID hit. We took a little hiatus, and it's back. Home team celebration is back, and it's back with a vengeance.
What does that mean?
We got Jonathan
like
Evans as our keynote speaker this year, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And so he's Tony Evans' son. He's the chaplain for the Dallas Cowboys and the Dallas Mavericks. He's a great speaker. I think there's a lot of people who heard him. A lot of students at least heard him this year. He was a speaker at Strength to Stand, and he's going to be a speaker for our event. And we would love everyone who wants to come to attend Tuesday, April 4th, 6 o'clock in Huntsville, the Von Braun Center, South Hall. Dinner is provided. We want to see you there. It's going to be an incredible evening. Learning about how you can get plugged in and how you can partner with us to advance the gospel in our camps and our schools and to our coaches and in our communities. It's an incredible evening.
Carter, that's good and all, but I want to hear you speak.
Yeah, Carter.
Oh, trust me, I know Coach is going to find something for me to say while I'm there, and it'll probably be about 2 minutes before I go on stage. He'll tell me about it.
Nice!
So
woo-woo!
Send us that video. Send us that.
Hear it. No, man, I'm not going to send you the video. You're going to be there. I'm
Hey, Jordan and I are going to wear Team Carter shirts.
Yeah.
So we're going to get one of those fat heads with your face on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm expecting it now.
Now tell them the website. Where do they need to go, Jordan? Carter.
Oh, no. Don't put that on me.
Carter, tell them where they need to go.
NorthAlabamaFCA.org.
Woohoo!
Anything and everything you want to know, Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Yes, son.
From the greatest FCA staff in the whole wide world. They got Carter Duncan. That's
all they need. That's the
round
MVP
1 draft
right there, son.
Round 1 draft pick.
MVP.
Round 1.
Yeah, round one. Number 1 in the draft. Number 1 in the draft and number 1 in our hearts.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Carter the man, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Man, I'm not the man. I just know the man.
Carter, next week I want you in a blue rain jacket looking like you're in a hurricane. So
yeah, bro.
See what you can do, man.
I'll see what I can do.
Put a little wind on you.
All right.
See you later.
See you, Carter. Thanks, buddy.
Bye, y'all.
The Duncan Dog.
Jennifer Pratt McDaniel. Woo-woo. 4 weeks ago, and I'm just now seeing this. Hello.
What is this?
This is Jordan's wife.
What?
And I want you to know that I've tried forever and ever to get him to sing in front of people, and he never will. Never. So thank you for getting him to, and also you need to teach me that trick. I forgot what trick it was.
Well, here's the thing. But
I just want to say,
here's what happens.
You're welcome, Jennifer.
Here's what happens. I sing around the house. I'll sing around the house, and she doesn't like it.
Really?
Because I sing songs that she doesn't like.
Like
Creedence Clearwater Revival, or I'll
Yeah.
I'll sing "You Raise Me Up," but intentionally terribly.
Will you sing it for us right now?
You raise me up.
Yes. Well, she said she wanted you.
Yeah,
to.
it's like she didn't say how she wanted me to sing.
That's
She
right.
just said she wants me to sing.
When you make a
so
statement,
I try
like
and do it, and she doesn't like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I'll sing songs that she like. Oh man, if I start singing "Sabotage," I can't stand it. I know you planned it. That one by
Yes.
Yeah, she is like never.
What does she want to hear you sing?
I don't.
Did
you know
you
what? I don't
sing
really
to
know.
her at her wedding?
No.
At your wedding?
No. Because they're two separate events. I'm just kidding. Her wedding and my wedding, on different sides of the state.
Obviously.
No, I did not. And
y'all came to terms.
Here's the thing, though, is that not the past 2 weeks, but two weeks ago, I sang in youth group because we have a guitar player, and he's got a beautiful voice, and he's a really good guitar player, but he's still learning English. He speaks Spanish. And Daros came up, and he played for us.
I like his name.
Daros, yes, that's a great name.
Daros.
Great dude. And I sang, and so she had some of the youth film it because she was like, you have to get this on video. But I'm singing again this week, I think. Yeah.
You're singing?
I'm singing again this week, youth group. So she acts like I don't sing.
So when you actually try...
When I actually try, it
becomes a reality.
It sounds okay at best.
Yeah. Well,
she thinks I have a good voice, and it's a good voice to be stuck behind in a choir. Well, but it's not a good lead.
So, Stephen, I was hanging out with people who knew you, and they were talking about how gifted and talented you are on the piano.
Oh yeah, brother.
Really?
On the drums.
Yeah, brother.
Cool.
And pretty much everything.
Yep.
So when I make these jokes about you can't sing and stuff, I can't do that to Stephen.
You can't do that
because he can.
Yeah, he can do it all.
And speaking of which, my favorite commercial at the Super Bowl, and I didn't send this to you or anything, but I wanted me and you to try this, but we don't have triangles at the church. So if there's any churches down the road from Gunnersville High School, you can bring that triangle, and we'll do our best to do a solo for you.
Yeah, drop them off.
Yes, and so
come right on in.
It's like the more cowbell, right?
Yeah.
So this commercial, Stephen. There's this guy, and he's hanging out, and he's like, you know what this needs? A triangle.
Some triangle.
Triangle.
Who doesn't?
And he, dumps, a rapper, famous rapper.
Yeah.
And it's the Dorito barbecue commercial.
Yeah.
I showed it to you before.
My
favorite part of that is when he drops the triangle.
Yeah. Instead of drop the mic, drop the try.
So my question is Stephen triangle able?
Ooh, yeah.
Can you do triangle solos?
I was a percussionist at Jacksonville State, right? And triangle is part of percussion, so yeah.
Could you teach me?
Timpani, marimba, all the stuff.
I don't know what you just said there.
Yeah.
But
it's a keyboard, you play with sticks.
There, hey, okay, now.
Huh? What you say, boy? Keyboard, you play with sticks.
I would personally like to say that I loved how you dumbed that down for me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was incredible.
Don't act like I was on some high pedestal where I understood where
I thought
he was talking about either. No,
I thought you knew.
What was it, the marimba?
Marimba.
Yeah, he said the marimba, and I was like, I'm going to pretend with my face that I know exactly what he's talking about.
Vibraphone. Ooh.
What?
Ooh, whoa. That sounds like...
I want you to use it in a sentence.
That sounds like... yes, right over here next to our refrigerators, we have a vibrophone.
Yeah.
That's good use of it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
okay.
Explain it to us.
Yeah, what is that?
Vibraphone is like a marimba in that it is keys.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
We know.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Hit with sticks.
All right.
But there is
definitely marimba.
There's a little disc on the inside of that little resonator underneath that key that causes it to vibrate. So it gives it like a kind of sound.
That's what I was going to say.
Gives it a tremolo.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. Sure you were.
You beat me to it, Steve-O.
There you go. It's used in jazz music a
lot. The soft jazz.
There you go.
Stephen
got
a nice flute. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Can we have Coach Hall with us for the clutch?
Yeah.
Sure, we can.
Yeah.
Coach Hall.
Yeah. I know he'll do good.
Coach Davey.
Some of these things we're talking about, he'll just add value to.
Add value.
Oh my gosh! Let's say that word again one more time before you look. Marimba and
vibraphone.
I feel like I'm talking about a poisonous snake.
Vibraphone. Yeah, like we're in Hogwarts or something like that. Yeah. Oh.
Do not.
Yes.
Stick your finger out.
Don't stick your finger in the marimba.
For the marimba.
The marimba will take your hand off very quickly.
It'll bite you.
It'll bite you.
It's very violent.
It plays sticks on your brain.
Did you hear me? I said, will you please use that in a sentence?
Yeah. The marimba.
You know, one of my favorite things was when you had the cat head on your head and you talked in the British accent.
The horrible, awful Cockney British accent. Coach Hall.
Coach Hall.
How you doing, sir?
Man.
Man.
I told you, this is Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
What's up, David?
Steven's
Coach
our
Hall.
producer. And I have talked about you. I said, one, Coach Hall is Arab famous. You'll want to put these headphones on right in front of you and pull that microphone up real quick. We're not on the radio. We are Instagram. Yeah, on the
Facebook,
live right there.
on the Facebook Live.
On the Facebooks.
We keep it going for the fans.
And Coach Hall, how old were you at 2002, 2 to 3?
So I first started teaching in Arab in the fall of 1997.
97.
So that would have been just a few years into my educational career and coaching career. I was in my 20s.
In your 20s.
Woo. A while ago.
Wow. I didn't realize you were that young then.
I was pretty young. I mean,
yeah.
So Coach Hall was my offensive line coach.
Yes.
I got to sit the bench a lot. I deserved to sit the bench a lot. This was when Seth Lund, Luke Gentry, they were beasts. They were
pretty good offensive linemen.
Yes, yeah,
pretty good.
And they would just
run you over.
Oh yeah.
Run you over.
I remember Coach Hall back then when we get ready for a game though, they would drink an entire bottle of Pepto-Bismol. I'm talking about Luke Gentry. His locker was right beside me, and he was so nervous for the game. He would drink an entire bottle before the game.
Because he was nervous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I wish I knew he had some of that because I needed it.
You needed it then? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When you were with Coach Garner.
In the world?
And, so.
Tastes like bubblegum. I love it.
But Coach Hall he's an Arab celebrity.
He's a legend.
So, well, in a minute, we're about to do our spiritual moment. So I'm going to talk about, we'll talk more about you in a minute. But Drew Godfrey says legends. But
plural.
we're gonna talk about dating.
Uh-oh.
And you've been married how long now?
It will be 26 years, June 14th.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's significant.
That's awesome.
And so I figure you have some good insight for these young teenagers.
Oh, yes.
And
absolutely.
He called us a few times on the offensive line during practice. So,
we got about 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Yep. Here we go.
Put us on a brief hold. Be right back.
.885 JFM is WJIA Guntersville. Streaming online at 885jfm.com. The Clutch Moment.
And today, I want to talk to you, everybody out there, about fulfillment. And I've got Jordan with me. I'm super excited. We already got Coach Hall, who does FCA to Arab. And I told him already, he's been married 27 years.
Almost 26 years.
Almost 26 years. 26.
And how much you got on him?
I don't have anything on him. He's got it on me.
Yeah. I've been married 15, almost 16. You've been married how long?
It'll be 6 years coming up this November. I can't remember. It's 6 years. We're in 2016, so
the newlywed in the room. So, but anyway, we're going to talk about relationships. I got a question from a teenager that I think's really good because I think it sets you up for relationships. And she asked this: how am I supposed to be complete before I bring somebody else in? That's a really good question. How am I supposed to be complete? I mean, with Jesus, with that, how am I supposed to get to a point where I'm able to bring somebody else in? And I want to start with an answer from Jesus in Luke chapter 14, 25 through, I say 28, 28a, so the first part of 28. It says, a large crowd was following Jesus. He turned around and he said to them, if you want to be my disciple, you must, by comparison, hate everyone else. And I'm not telling you to do this in a relationship. Let me get to the point. Your father and your mother, your wife and your child, your brothers and sisters, yes, even your own life. Otherwise, you cannot be my disciple. And if you do not carry your own cross and follow me, you cannot be my disciple. But don't begin, this is what I want you to get, until you count the cost. Don't begin until you count the cost. See, the facts about being fulfilled. Number one, and I believe this, I want to hear y'all talk about this. Your foundation of everything you are, if you want to be fulfilled in life, it has to start with God.
Of course.
So our fulfillment will only ever come when we really have a relationship with God. In other words, people often wonder why they always feel something's missing in their lives, why they feel empty or incomplete, why no relationship, sin, activity, or filler ever leaves them with permanent contentment. So here's my question to you. Coach Hall, I'll start with you and then I'll go to Jordan.
All right.
Why do we have to have God in our lives to be fulfilled? Why do you think that's so important?
Well, first of all, the more you love Jesus, the more you follow him, the more you really realize what love is.
Yes.
Without
Absolutely.
God, we don't know what love is. We have some poor substitutes. People search for all kinds of things and ways to fill them up, only to be left ultimately empty.
Yeah.
Christ is the only thing that can fulfill us. So anything outside of that is going to fall short.
Yeah. And I think as teenagers, I remember, I don't know about you guys. I'll ask you a question with the next one. But as teenagers, I think you always are thinking, when I get married one day, I'll feel fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
When I get that job I always wanted, I'll be fulfilled. Mm-hmm. And I know both of you guys, y'all are in your dream jobs. You're doing what you wanted to do.
Absolutely.
But even though, and you've won a lot this year, you've been in the years that haven't. In those moments, that doesn't overall fulfill you, does it?
Losing never feels good.
No.
And winning doesn't always feel good.
Right.
It's really just about how much you love those kids and how much you want to serve those kids. And I've learned that over the course of time. It is not about the wins. It's not about the losses. It's about developing those young men into better young men.
So good.
And that the hard work that they learn how to do will carry over into everything they do.
Yeah.
Whether it's their marriage or whatever profession they're going to be in, the friendships they make.
Yeah.
To learn what it truly means to work hard, not just for yourself, but for the good of others.
That's so good. Which comes to my next point. If you're not happy alone without somebody, you'll never be happy with anybody together.
There's some definite truth in that.
What do you think about that, Jordan?
Well, there's definite truth in that. Like, you have to be content. And in Mark chapter 2, Jesus goes to that man. If y'all remember, it's that the guy's lowered in from the roof. They break open the roof and they lower him in. And it seems like everyone gets what this guy wants. He's paralyzed. Obviously, Jesus has been healing people. So it's like Jesus can't read the room. Now he does.
Yeah.
But if you're reading it, the first thing he says to this man is not take up your bed and walk. The first thing he says is your sins are forgiven.
Yeah. Which made the Pharisees really mad.
Well, it made them mad, but it also shows you that even the most pure desire in us of, let's say I can't walk. Obviously, I want to walk. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to, and someone giving that to me is going to be a huge win, so to speak.
Yeah.
But that's not going to ultimately satisfy. Give it a few weeks, a few months down the road, I'm going to want something else.
Yeah.
And so what Jesus is doing there by looking at that man who everyone knows this guy wants to be healed, but the first thing Jesus does says your sins are forgiven, because that actually does satisfy.
That's good.
And we may not think to ourselves all the time, well, I'm satisfied because Christ has forgiven me, but we have to stop basing our Christian life on how we feel. and
good.
start basing our Christian life on what Christ has done for us and has said about us.
Yeah, it's like love. Love is not a feeling; it's an action.
Right? It is an action. It is a choice every day.
Because you've been married 27 years. Do you always feel in love? The feelings of it?
No. The answer is no. Listen, I married a close to perfect woman. I'm just telling you.
Right.
But no, it is. Marriage is very hard.
It is.
Yeah, it's extremely hard,
and it is worth the work every day.
Absolutely,
it is.
Sure is.
And so then I go to this: only start dating when we're ready to give your heart away. In other words, dating should never be a casual thing, because think about it: a true relationship costs us. It costs us our time, costs us our effort, it costs us our emotion. Remember again with Luke chapter 28, it says, "Don't begin till you count the cost." And I know this was talking about discipleship in this moment, but it also goes for many things. We got to count the cost of what we're doing. So why do you think it's so important that we always count the cost of our relationship? Not just dating, but all of our relationships. Why is it important to count that cost?
I think one of the best tests of any kind of relationship is, does this person help bring me closer to Christ?
That's so good.
Do I help this person grow closer to Christ?
That's good.
That doesn't mean, don't associate with anyone who doesn't know Christ. I mean, obviously we're called to spread the gospel, to tell that story.
Yeah.
But in terms of the people you spend the majority of your time with, you want them bringing you closer to the cross, not
farther away.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
I said this last week. I was talking about friends. Don't allow friends to be close to you if they're going to tempt you. In other words, when you're with them, they tempt you to do their standard, their spiritual standard is so much lower that they bring you down every time you're around them. Yeah, and it's what you just said. I've always heard this: show me your friends, and I'll show your future. And that's so important with dating, right?
Yeah,
and it goes into this: only commit to someone, and he said it, who is more in love with Jesus than you. This, at the very least, should be the goal. Girls and guys, and I said this, do not look for a guy who looks good and is funny. And y'all are going to laugh at this, because I think we've all gone through this a little bit, except for you, Coach Hall. You're timeless. Those things in time will fade, but a guy or girl who is constantly pursuing Jesus over time will only deepen. So, over time, those things deepen. The spiritual things deepen. Our bodies, they just wear down, okay? No matter how fit we are or whatever, we wear down. We're not our 20-year-old selves anymore.
True. I hit 50 this past year. I can attest to that.
I
mean, 50 hit me, I should say.
Yeah. So either one of you, when picking someone we want to be in a relationship with forever, how important is it, seriously, that we choose somebody who has a deep relationship with Christ?
Well, it's paramount. You have to have somebody who has that. And don't get me wrong, I mean, going to church and going to church functions is good, but that's not
a relationship
deep enough.
Yeah.
You have to have someone who shares in your values and shares in what Christ has done. And it's hard sometimes because people are very different. And the way that you tackle something as opposed to the way your wife tackles something can be very different, but you're supposed to continue to be working towards Christ. And as you work towards Christ, you're going to naturally be working towards each other.
Yeah.
So
how important has that spiritual relationship been in your life, Coach Hall?
It's hard to articulate how important that is. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
But if you think about it in terms of, is my wife my best friend? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of good friends. I'm so blessed with that. To me, the best of friends are going to tell you the truth in love.
Yeah.
They're going to speak to you in ways that are going to step on your toes.
Yeah.
Not because they want to accuse you and make you feel bad, but because they see maybe where you're lacking
and where you can be better.
Right, and they want you to be better.
Right.
And so, I know in our marriage we've done a good job with that, and I just want to continue on that pathway because we're never gonna get to this magical place where we don't have to work anymore.
Right.
And it
doesn't exist.
No, sir, it does not.
That's what I say. The Notebook. I'm doing a wedding. I was actually doing marriage counseling. I said, listen, if you expect your marriage to be like The Notebook all the time, where everything's perfect, everything's wonderful. That's a rom-com. That's a moment in your relationship, but it's not the whole picture.
Yeah,
true. And so I think that's so big. I'm gonna pray for you guys, and then hey, I want you to come over and join us, Coach Hall. We got some funny things to talk about.
Okay.
Anyway, and some videos and stuff like that. But you can join us at Varsity Radio Show on almost every one of our social medias, except for which one, Steven? Twitter?
TikTok's not live.
TikTok's not live.
But Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, we're there.
They're all live. They're
boom,
live,
boom.
and you can come see us right now. So I'm going to pray for you. God, we come to you. God, I pray for each and every one of my friends out there. God, I pray that they would make good decisions on their future relationships, not just in their dating, but in their friendship relationships. God, help them to surround themselves with people who make them better and help them get closer to you. In your holy and awesome name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Are we back?
Thanks for going in.
We're
with
back.
Us on
Yeah,
that.
you just jumped right in.
So, Kelly Duncan used to be Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah, a friend of yours. She posted this picture. I wanted some insight from you, Stephen, if you can pop it up, because you commented on this, and I can hear you saying that you're just one of the funniest guys I've ever met. But the Broncos rookie O-lineman Quinn Menares says he likes to let the belly breathe, a legend, and she quoted you on this. So what do you got to say about that?
Look at that.
You're in good company.
Most people would say, doesn't look like a great athlete. That's what athleticism looks like.
Yes. Yes, it is.
That is.
He is in the NFL.
That's a man. That's a man among men.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
He
he is
doesn't
not.
care.
And he is not ashamed.
And
Him and Landon Dickerson.
and I know
What they did,
the
Dre.
offensive linemen are some of the best athletes in the game.
Yes.
They're some of the best.
Some of the highest paid.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're like
Watch
a
Blindside.
starting left tackle, man, you can make a lot of money. But it's always like I guess in basketball most of those guys are in pretty good shape, but you get to baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, look, and I ain't trying to speak ill of the dead, but Tony Gwynn, one of the greatest pure baseball batters of all time, he looked like he had a big old gut on him. He looked like the manager of an Office Depot.
Yeah.
But the man could hit 330 every year and hit opposite field. I mean, you don't have to have a six-pack to be good at football or really baseball, for that matter.
So
you can
if
be a big boy.
I'm remembering this right, Coach Hall. Did you play college ball? Didn't you?
I did. I played at a small college in Sewanee, Tennessee. It's the University of the South, but people just call it Sewanee.
Swan.
Yeah.
It has a history, like it's an old school. It's one of the founding members of the SEC.
Wow.
It's up on the hill. It's that big one up on the hill, right? Sewanee?
It is. Yes, it's on Mont Eagle Mountain. If you've ever been up there, and it was a great place to spend 4 years. Loved it. So happy that I got to play the game, after high school, and it was just a true blessing.
So where are you originally from?
So I'm from Florence, Alabama.
Okay.
Down in
I
Florence.
grew up down the river from here. So my wife and I temporarily moved to Arab 26 years ago.
Temporarily?
Just a temporary.
Right.
Nothing too crazy.
It's a temporary move.
Mm-hmm.
Just a small move.
And you started coaching at
Fall of 97.
fall of 97.
Wow.
With Arab.
With Arab. I'm still working my first job 26 years
That's
later.
awesome.
Is that Keith Garner you started with? Or
So, no, Mike Shipp was the head coach when I first started.
Okay.
And then Coach Garner was just a couple years after that.
Okay. Yeah, so Garner was my coach then. So he, I remember I had him in here and he talked about the day I walked in. And I know I wasn't that great, okay? But I walked in and I told him I was quitting. He said he was ready to chew me up.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you know this. I actually started youth ministry my junior into senior year.
I did not
And
know
the
that.
reason I was quitting was to youth pastor.
Right.
And
right.
so I start talking, and he's ready to rear up. And I said, and I'm going into ministry. And he's like, God, how can I get mad at this kid? How can I get So he said, I was ready to go at you. I didn't want you to quit. He said, but then you said that. What am I supposed to say to that? No,
Right.
God, he can't do that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's funny.
so the Super Bowl just happened, and I don't know who you were pulling for.
I was just pulling for a good game, and we got it.
Yeah, we got a really good game. That was a good game.
I guess I lean more towards the Eagles, maybe.
Yeah.
But finally, I just want to see a good football game.
Do you have an NFL team?
I really don't. I like to watch some football in the NFL. I'm not a big NFL guy though.
More college.
I'm not a fantasy league guy yet, but who knows?
One day.
I tried that one time. It just didn't work.
I won this last year.
Well, good for you.
I mean, I played against my youth boys, but I won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what's important.
But
did you get a ring?
They have not given me one yet. I keep waiting for my 16 and 17-year-olds to come present me with a fantasy ring. But
it's going to be a little while.
Yeah.
Sometime in 5 years from now.
Yeah, though.
Yeah.
Got my
You'll get it.
First full-time job, and now pay for that ring.
But something I never thought I'd see in my life, and my last youth pastor job before here, I was close to Raleigh, North Carolina, which, if you know anything, they call it the Triangle. You got NC State, Carolina, and Duke, and they're really, 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 really good at basketball.
All of them, every last one.
And all my youth kids always cheered for that. And when we played basketball, I'm like, well, Alabama's never going to win any of this stuff till Nate Oates.
Never say never.
Right, Nate Oates came, and I remember they beat Carolina.
This garbage?
That's beautiful. Anyway, the Tide beat Auburn this last week. Going, what was it? 11-0 or 13-0? I can't remember.
In SEC play?
In SEC play. They're 23-3, first number one ranking since 2002.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
And I just want them to win. I never thought I'd be excited about basketball, and I never thought we'd beat North Carolina.
Well, the tourney is, you never know what can happen in the tourney. Alabama can make a good run though.
Yeah. They had a good season at least.
They've had a great season. Well, the SEC tournament's coming up like real soon.
Yeah, it's got to be. They've played almost everybody.
Yeah.
My wife is a University of Alabama graduate, so she's happy to see this, no doubt.
Pumped.
Yeah, she helped them win a national championship in football in 1992.
I believe that.
Yeah, she was a student there, so
that's where
wasn't for her. No telling.
That's where that feller, I can't remember his name, but he chased down that Miami number 36 and
George Teague.
George Teague, that's right.
Yeah.
And he ran him down, and it's the best play that did not count because they ended up calling the whole thing back. But it's the greatest play that I'm an Auburn fan, but even I have to admit
it's impressive. It's like kick six impressive.
Yeah. It's
and sadly, devastating.
Sadly, because it happened back in 1992, not a lot of people remembered unless you're just from Alabama or an Alabama fan. But, even when I was a kid, I was sitting there watching that game with my dad, and I was like, that's one of the coolest plays I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely. I tell you, he won't forget it, that guy from Miami.
No, I can't remember his name.
Ever.
I can't remember his name, but he thought he had a touchdown.
Wasn't Dabo on that team? That 92 team?
Dabo, I think, graduated before that.
Maybe.
I think he and Coach Osment were teammates at Alabama.
Wow. Coach Osment was defense, right?
Mm-hmm. He was.
Defense.
Because that was when Lassick just ran all over Miami. He had like 12 touchdowns. Not that many. He had a lot. He had a lot of touchdowns.
Wow.
Yep.
But, I'm really excited to see the Alabama basketball program. I like Nate Oates. They needed a Nick Saban. They found a Nick Saban of basketball. I mean,
he's good. He's got him on the right track, evidently, and they don't show any signs of slowing down.
I hope they don't. So I just remember what is the last guy, Avery.
Yeah.
They couldn't get through the NIT. What is it, the NIT tournament? Yeah. That was devastating.
I actually don't know what the NIT stands for, but my dad always used to say it stood for not invited tournament.
Yes, not invited to
not
the
invited.
tournament.
There's a lot of truth in that.
And that it's kind of a dig because I know the NIT champions are a talented basketball team. But yeah.
Speaking of football, and Napoleon Dynamite.
Here we go.
Have you ever watched Napoleon?
It has been a while, but yes, okay. I have seen it.
Well, somebody did this really funny thing. Steven, did you pull that or?
I'll pull it right now.
Okay, and
it's a deep fake, is what it is.
Yeah, and I think you would really appreciate it. So
it's a deep fake. It's not really.
This is for you, Coach Hall.
Not really him.
Okay.
Just a second to pop it over there.
No, you're good.
It's beautiful.
I'm just enjoying the Alabama being on number one. So you just.
You You do this on purpose.
I did. Here we go. You know that guy right there. So
I think he looks familiar.
yeah. It just makes this moment so much better. Uncle Rico.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Give me a second. Won't give me. Let's refresh it.
This is beautiful.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains? Yeah. Coach would have put me in fourth quarter. We would have been state champions, no doubt.
Are you serious?
But there's no doubt in my mind. You better believe things have been different. I'd have gone pro. Heartbeat, I'd be making millions of dollars and living in a big old mansion somewhere. Soaking it up in a hot tub with my soulmate.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
That is all kinds of priceless.
Isn't that great?
I mean, the talent, because that actually looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger is actually sitting there doing that. So the technology of what's called a deep fake has really, really, really gotten people on in their own homes are sometimes better than professional CGI movie people or whatever. That was impressive. It looks so real. You're almost like, wait, did he do a parody of this? But no, someone actually just.
So he didn't do that?
No, computer generated it, and someone made his voice. We're getting so when the great robot revolution comes upon us, we will look back at that video and be like, "This is where it started."
This is what we do before we interview you because we want you to be happy. And so Steven's pulled some really good videos, and so Steven, why don't you take it away?
So were you watching the Super Bowl? Of course you were. Of course. But how about the commercials? Were they near as good this year as they have been in years past? What do you think?
The triangle.
I didn't watch a lot of the commercials. I had a youth Super Bowl party, so my had a lot of irons in the fire.
Gotcha.
If you catch my drift, I barely got the chance to really watch the game.
Well, there was one commercial that really got a lot of people's attention for all the wrong reasons and probably got some kids in trouble, and it goes a little something like this.
That's the best.
Super Bowl 57 so far, great game going like you expected.
Gonna take this.
So far, these teams have really.
Bro, what are you doing? Get off the remote. Get off the remote. You changing it.
I did see that one.
That was the commercial?
It was the Tubi commercial.
Oh.
It's a streaming service called Tubi.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so it looked like somebody got in a hold of the remote and they were swapping channels.
It fooled my youth because they were like, Pastor Jordan, why are you messing with the TV? I'm not messing with the TV. That's the commercial. That's an actual commercial.
Yeah.
And so they were.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the commercial makes it look like you got off the game.
It got a lot of attention.
Well, that's their point.
Oh yeah. There were a lot of celebrities on some other commercials, some really good stuff out there, but it didn't seem to be.
So, what am I supposed to buy?
The guy,
right?
The
Tubi.
Okay.
So the
Tubi.
guy's reacting to what was happening, I believe, on the TV. Yeah.
So they got the commentators of the Super Bowl to do a little video, and they used that piece of video to look like they were actually calling the game. And then all of a sudden, you see this menu pop up, like you're streaming, if you're on Fire Stick or whatever.
Okay.
And they're going through to another channel.
Yeah.
So they're changing the channel. Somebody's messing with the TV while the Super Bowl's on.
Yep.
That's something that gets you hurt when I was a kid. So
Definitely.
it almost got some people hurt this time, but it was totally a commercial, which was pretty cool. All right, so how have you had kids celebrate a victory with you, Coach?
This is good.
Any really weird ways that they've celebrated?
Oh man, you never know what they're going to say or do. One of the best and I guess worst at the same time. We won a big game over Madison Academy, and it was super rainy, super muddy, and our kids decided to go run and slide on the field. Well,
of course,
that was fun. That was fun until everybody realized we just ruined basically a set of uniforms because we couldn't get the stains out from the paint on the field.
No,
which a lot of people don't think about in terms of coaching, but one of the hardest things you do as a coach is the wash, and and it absolutely the stains are still in them.
There's no saving
to this day.
So I'm reminded of that victory when we do the laundry. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Every day.
We got there's a victory I want to talk to him about when we do the actual interview. But
there's one victory I want to share real quick, and this is from a wrestling tournament. This got
I think I know
my
what you're talking
attention.
about.
It's so good. Take a look at this. If it'll play for me.
Oh!
Boom! Suplexed him. I love it.
Picked him up.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Wow.
I mean,
was that his coach?
That was his coach. Yeah.
Coach, what if someone ever did that to you? What if a player ever did that to you? Are they dead on the spot? They DOA.
It kind of depends on what game we just won.
And it better be a win.
If it's a preseason game,
he's
in trouble.
And boom.
Yeah,
oh God.
That is a special
state championship
coach-player relationship. But it's a state championship. Yeah, I'll let him suplex me. No problem. No problem.
Yeah. Flip me over like a burger is what I'd say.
He played that off well, though. It didn't affect him. So
I love it.
And I would like to point out that coach looks super young. I may not get up from that if so.
Yeah. Man.
Any offensive line out there, please don't throw Coach Hall like that.
Don't throw him.
Please don't hurt him. He is a national treasure at ARAB, so please don't.
Be gentle with the elderly, yes.
Yeah. So you'd say you'd be more open to maybe a massage after something like that.
Yeah. I'm thinking a high five.
A high five? Yeah. Well, no. After having to get up off the
after
the floor,
getting body
you might have to go to the chiropractor and get adjusted. Well, it could be something like between this cat and this dog.
Yo, Derek, you good, man? You look a little stressed out, man. You're not running around acting the fool like usual. Y'all standing there stoic, man. Hey, man, just feel this massage, man. Just feel every piece of this right here, man. You need it, man.
That's weird.
Hey, man. You dogs, man, y'all are labeled man's best friend. That's a great title, but that's a lot of pressure, dog. That's a lot of pressure, man. You got to live up to that. When all you want to do is just be free, run around, chasing stuff, mouth open for no reason, barking randomly. I don't know why y'all be barking, but you do. That's all you want. You know, they got you out here in these dumb sweaters taking family pictures. You didn't ask me any of this. You didn't ask me. We don't need clothes. Our fur is our clothes. I don't know why they try to put sweaters on you, man. That's why you need this massage, man. Get in on this, man. You give so much, but you get so little, man. Get in on this.
That looked like a deep tissue massage.
It did, didn't it?
A little creepy there.
That cat, that cat was coming on a little too strong.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there trying to enjoy my day. I don't want nobody coming up behind me.
Special relationship right there.
Yeah.
I've never been able to get a massage.
I'll say this: if it's from my wife, rock on. If it's from anybody who's not my wife, I'm gonna be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and let's be honest, none of us want men touching us.
Yeah,
you are not touching me.
No.
I'm not about that life.
No, I don't.
Anyway.
No.
So, Coach, we know that you're out on the field, you're doing the things that you love, but when you're not, coaching, are you teaching?
Yes, I'm in the classroom. I'm a core teacher. I taught English for the majority of my career, and now I teach AP US history, and I have two 12th grade English classes.
Wow.
So yeah, we're in the classroom, and we're trying to get better each day, just like you would at anything else. And been blessed with some really great kids, great classes.
Good.
It is a wonderful atmosphere to teach in.
So let's talk a little bit about extra credit. Do you ever give extra credit? Somebody's really falling behind. They need some extra points, and they ask you, is there a project? Is there a paper? Is there something I can do to get some extra credit? How does that work in your classroom?
It would be special, but yes. I mean, I have a heart, and as long as it's legitimate and need, undoubtedly you want to help kids out. You give as much as you can.
Gotcha. Now, sometimes I think maybe some teachers think, well, this kid, hasn't really tried. So no, I'll tell them, I'll let them try to get some extra credit when cows fly or when pigs fly or something like that. You say something outlandish. That's exactly what this chemistry teacher did. But what came next was literally what he said.
He told me he'd give me extra credit once I walk on water.
She's walking on water.
That was more
I did not see that coming.
That was more like dancing on water than that was.
Yeah?
And your response?
I think that's pretty creative.
I thought it was genius.
That's clever.
It's worth some extra points for sure.
Yeah.
But he was not amused.
If
he said,
obviously that's like a chemistry class, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give her extra credit in my class just for being that creative. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be pretty something. Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, I'd be like,
that's funny.
It was a D-. Now it's just a D.
That's hilarious.
I mean,
I didn't think about that. I mean, that was creative.
Walk on water.
Absolutely. He did not look very happy.
No.
No.
Okay, so all things athletic. I mean, I imagine that certain sports are really good for core strength. Say skiing, whether it's ice skiing or water skiing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I would think so.
Okay. Well, Coach, what would you think about ice skiing and water skiing at the same time? Could that work?
Ice skiing and water skiing?
Snow skiing. Snow skiing and water skiing, yeah.
I can't do either.
You can't do either?
No.
Take a look at this right here.
Here she goes.
Oh, no.
Whoa. And that dog.
There's
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh. Whoa.
Wow.
I'd have broken a hip.
All right, y'all ready for the interview?
Yes.
All right,
that was very impressive.
Yeah.
That was like walking on water.
Yeah.
The Varsity Athlete Interview.
Coach David Hall here in the
man,
studio.
the myth, the legend. He's here.
The Arab Alabama legend.
Well, yeah.
He is Alabama. He's from Florence.
Yes, Florence, Alabama.
He got temporarily moved to Arab, Alabama for 26 years.
Just temp, just a temp,
Been
just
married
some temp work.
Almost 27.
Yeah.
He is, and I say this, he was my offensive line coach, and that's one of the reasons I brought him on here. I was nothing impressive. I'm not pulling anything. I was scout offense. But Coach Hall was always so much fun. He was fantastic. He is loved by many. Actually, I went to Charburger today, and they were giving me the burger, and the girl said, I said, you know who I'm interviewing today? A coach from Arab. Arab, I go to Arab. I went to Arab.
Okay.
And she said, who is that? I said, Coach Hall. She said, he's my favorite. I love Coach Hall. He's the best. So,
wow. Yeah. Getting the compliments.
And that's understatement, but not to pump him up too much. He was also my American Lit teacher at Sneed for a night class for 5 weeks.
That's right.
That was a long class, but he was really good. But this is what I wanted to ask. Coach Hall, tell us about how you got started in football, how you knew you wanted to be a coach. You've been a coach for a long time, and you've done an excellent job. So talk to us about that.
Well, I figured out that I wanted to be a teacher, and then I hoped that coaching would be a part of it. So my sophomore year in college, I decided I was going to be an English major, and then use that to get into education.
Yeah.
And so after that, I went back to a different school, went back to UNA, and got certified to teach English and history. And then when I first started coaching at Arab, I seized that opportunity and have been doing it ever since. I've coached football. I've coached girls soccer. I was a track coach for a little while. I've served as a substitute baseball coach for, I think, 3 total games. And I was undefeated up until the last game. So my baseball career, in terms of a
they messed
coach,
up
was
on
ruined,
that
but that's okay.
They messed up, Coach.
They done messed
up. They brought you in for the whole thing.
Yeah, that probably would have been better.
I have a question for you, Coach. I have a question for you. So when brother Seth was on your squad, were your 4 favorite words Henniger, take a lap? Were those your favorite 4 words? Because those would have been mine if I was his coach. Henniger, take a lap. Take a lap.
If he did anything bad, then I guess I would have told him to do that. But Seth, I mean, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
And
he's fooling you, man.
A little less than great.
Yes.
Football player, but
absolutely
great dude,
absolutely.
Man.
And
how much did he pay you to say that?
That was fair. That was a very fair.
It was worth a Charburger is what it was worth.
Yeah.
Listen, the onion rings are good.
Yeah,
weren't they good?
Yes.
Yeah. Charburger loves you too. I mean,
I don't eat lunch on Tuesdays because I look forward to that 2 p.m.
I know.
Charburger.
I know.
I look forward to it.
Coach Hall, you've been 26 years coaching. You just went overall. Tell us about some of your favorite moments in coaching so far.
Gosh, all right. So over 26 seasons, there are a great number of big things, but I think easily when we snapped the losing streak that we'd been on for over 30 games, that was a biggie.
I got to talk about that.
The goalpost got torn down.
That's what I was going to talk about.
It was just one of those moments where you felt like a state champion. You weren't, but that's exactly what it felt like. Been a part of some great wins. Been a part of some really tough losses. I think more than anything else, I just remember all the young men that have come through in terms of watching them grow and change and get better. And that's what I remember more than anything else. You can point back to some victories, you can point back to some bad defeats, but really and truly, what matters more than anything else is the kids that you get to coach.
Yeah.
And just see the kind of men they turn into, and hopefully, you're a positive attitude along the way, or you positively attribute to that, and it's just been a blessing. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah. And I remember that year. It was my sophomore year, and I actually went from band to football. So there you go. That's I didn't really understand the game much. So what you were teaching me at that moment taught me a lot. I do now. I understand it a lot.
Right.
But my junior year was my first year. I didn't understand football. But I remember the team winning, beating Albertville.
That's right.
And I remember every student, there thousands of people rushed that field.
It was a big moment at the pit, no doubt.
And tore down the goal. I remember John Ingram doing the MasterCard thing. Whatever this costs this much, the goal costs this much, but winning's priceless.
Yeah,
or whatever.
It was big. It was big for our kids.
It was huge.
It was big for the community. So yeah, it was great moment.
We needed that. So because we lost a lot before that, but yeah. But anyway, so what would you say is some of the biggest? You were talking about kids that have really stood out, success stories that you feel like you've made an impact in people's lives.
So I can think of one in particular. He's a young man named Brandon Burgett. I don't know if you remember him. I don't know if he may have come after you. I'm not sure, but
I think so.
Things kind of blur over the course of the years. But I can remember back when he was a freshman, and one of the coaches at the time said, you watch this young man. He is going to be an incredible player one day.
Yeah.
And I thought at that moment, man, I don't see it.
Yeah.
I just don't. And it wasn't anything against that young man in particular. I just didn't see that potential.
That drive, yeah.
That young man worked and worked and worked. And by the time he was a senior, he was starting, and he was a big contributor on the field. And it took all he had to do it. And I learned a great lesson. You don't know how much a kid's going to change over the course of 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
It is phenomenal how much a kid can grow.
Yeah.
So you keep pouring into them no matter what. Regardless of how many games you think someone's going to help you win, you want to work to help them promote that change in their life. And he's a great example of that.
Wow.
What would you this is kind of this is an interesting question. I'd like to see what you think about it. Well, what would you rather have in a football player, baseball player, whatever you're coaching? Would you rather have a kid with all the talent in the world, or a kid who doesn't have much talent but is willing to work extremely hard to get better and better and better? Because sometimes, I'm not saying talented kids don't work, but it comes so naturally to them that don't see the need for it all the time. So what would you rather have, a kid with all the talent or a kid willing to actually get in there and grind?
Right. Well, when talent meets talent, what makes the difference? It's the kid that works harder.
Yeah.
All right. So there's your answer. You want the kid that is going to work as hard as he can consistently. Now, sometimes working hard will not get you a starting position.
Yeah.
You're a part of the team, and that's a great thing to be. And I think people sometimes put their value in becoming a starter, like that's gonna make or break their life. It doesn't. It may make or break their moment, But finally, what you learn day in and day out of that grind, whatever it is throughout the season, over the course of the summer, you learn to just keep going and keep at it. And there's a lot to be said with that.
Yeah.
In terms of the development of a young person's character.
That's
I mean,
so
the game
good.
of football is so awesome, man. It teaches what our world will never teach, because the world compromises too much.
Yeah.
And then there's no room for compromise in football.
No.
None.
Not if you want to be good.
Not if you want to be good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I hate to ask you this. Do you mind moving up?
Sure.
Steven's trying to get behind. I'm sorry. And then I was going to ask you this. Thinking about your teams over the moment. Talk about some seasons that just have really stood out to you in your coaching career and what made them special. Doing this show. And Steve and I, believe it or not, we've been going on 5, almost 6 years, so we've interviewed almost 600 athletes.
Right.
So what you said, you can see the difference. I can tell you the difference. We've had state champions in here. I can tell the difference. It's for me, and you can tell me I'm wrong, it's the bonding experience of the team usually that determines whether a team's going to be great or not. I know the drive is, but if they don't have that connection, it doesn't usually happen.
Right.
So talk about some teams that have really stood out to you and have been really special over the years. Seasons, maybe. Not just teams and seasons.
So looking back over the years, I'm trying to remember what year this was exactly. We took a team in the first round of the state playoffs to play against Muscle Shoals. And there's no way we should have won that game.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at their athletes, you look at ours, and they beat us probably 9 times out of 10. Well, they didn't that night.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those wins where our kids just hung in there and found a way to do it.
Yeah.
And again, you learn a lot of lessons as a coach. You know, sometimes on paper you think it's going to go one way, and it goes the exact opposite way.
Yeah.
And that, I wasn't say I was a great big doubter going in there, but I knew it would take a lot for us to win that game. And our kids played their guts out, and we squeaked that victory out of there. We lost the next week in the second round of the state playoffs against Fort Payne, but that team in particular was a good group overall. That group of offensive linemen was a great group of young men overall, and I know one in particular now is in the ministry. One is coaching in the Huntsville area. One, I think, is an engineer in the Huntsville area.
Wow.
I mean, it's just cool to see how those young men again have moved on in their lives to become a success in whatever they do.
Yeah.
So it's. I'm not saying I had a part in that, but at the same time,
You did.
You love
You
them.
do.
You know?
You do.
One of those young men went to West Point.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's
graduated.
awesome.
So I mean, it's just again incredible to be around football, the game of football, and again what it teaches, and over the course of the years, just the number of kids that come through there, and they end up in the best of places, hopefully, and those young men did.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I can tell you personally, again, I didn't know a whole lot about football, but I always respected you and always thought the world of you. And I knew I wanted to impress you. So, you know, which I never did. But not football. But you know, it's in those moments I think coaches don't realize that you have a bigger impact than you think you do. That you make a significant difference. That here I am, 36, still remembering the impact you had on my life then.
Right.
And that you had you were a huge deal to me in that moment. So, you got a question?
I mean, I remember I had some baseball coaches and some basketball coaches, and I wasn't very good at either one, but I still remember some of the things they would, say to me other than McDaniel take a lap, I still remember some of the things that they taught me. And so it's not really a question, but, we have an impact. And you as a coach have an impact. Even if you don't think that they're listening to a single word that you're saying, it's wild what they remember. I mean, I'm a youth minister, he's a youth minister. I'm sure we can tell you that there's been times you're talking to your youth and you're like, they're not getting anything like this. And then 6 months later, they'll come up to you, hey, you remember when you said that? And you're like, I said that? And they were like, yeah, you said this, and it really meant a lot to me. And you're like, well.
Or that's the night you get the text that they say, man, that really ministered to me. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I didn't think it went anywhere.
You thought it was just bouncing right off their heads,
But But that's how you were. I remember you just investing and being there. And you were always hilarious too. So So
well, I've always thought that if you can't laugh a little bit in what you're doing, you're just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Football's a great game. It's fun to play.
Yeah. You're supposed to have fun, man.
So cut it loose, man. Have fun.
So
have a
what
good
is, before we get into some funny stuff, what is like your game day? Because we ask athletes, okay, what is your game day strategy? What do you do to get rid of the butterflies? Because you just said it a minute ago when I was joking about Luke Gentry, right? And drinking the whole bottle of Pepto-Bismol back in the day, and you said you wish you had some. Tell us, because I don't think I've ever asked a coach this. What are your emotions on game day? How do you deal with that? Like,
so it ranges, because you're on game day. You're also, it's a school day, so you're in the classroom. You're doing what you need to do to get ready. But then, really and truly, when the school day is over and you got that time in between, say 2 o'clock and the time you kick off, I try to just get quiet somewhere, watch a little bit of film, perhaps, talk to my players some, just to kind of see how they are.
Yeah.
Then you kind of not last minute adjustment, but just things you want them to think about during the game as they get ready. Go over those things with them. And I can tell you this past season in particular, because my son played for me as an offensive lineman, and so this was his senior year, and it was a big deal. So I was looking at game day as a coach in that it's business. We got to get this job done. We got to find a way to win this game.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm a dad.
You're excited
watching my baby play.
Yeah.
And realizing his high school experience is
almost
coming
over
to an end. You know. And so on some of those games, man, it was emotional. It was emotional. It was tough. It was tough.
Yeah.
So talk about that, because that has to make a difference, right? So how cool was it to get to coach your son, and like,
such a blessing.
How special were those moments?
Yeah, I mean, being his coach and his dad, you have access that most parents will never ever get. Like, they'll never see their child struggle and work in that way.
Yeah.
And you look at it from the bleachers all you want to, but when you're in practice with them, and this is for any young man that you coach, I mean, you really find out who those kids are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You find out how strong they are. You find out how mentally tough they are. And I'll tell you what, this group of kids we had last year, and I'm probably bragging a little bit because one of them was mine, but we had a great group of O-linemen this last year.
Yeah.
And they made my job an absolute joy. They made it pretty easy, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it was just fun, man. It was just fun. I tell them all the time, look, guys, just before a game, I said, look, you know what this game's going to be like? It's going to be a lot like football.
Yeah.
And y'all know that. So y'all just play it. And play each play and try to win those plays. And if you do something good, you build on it, and you go forward. If you do something bad, man, you got to flush that.
Yeah.
And let it go and move on to the next play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't let one mistake lead to the next mistake. So.
Right. Don't beat yourself up so bad that you can't function.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you a superstitious coach in the sense like, hey, we won by 30 points, and I had a beard coming in. Do you shave that beard, or do you keep it going, or what?
So by the end of the season, I had a pretty long beard.
Nice.
So I kept it on. I tried to wear the same thing at every game.
Yeah.
Obviously in August you're wearing a little bit less, in terms because it's hot, man.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
But
welcome to Alabama.
I think the only difference in between the first game and the last game is that I had on a toboggan and a sweatshirt. I still wore shorts.
Yeah,
I'm superstitious in that way, I guess.
I mean, hey, look, I when I would play baseball and I would get a hit, you better believe that if I was chewing Big League Chew, great. I was chewing Big League Chew the next time. I mean,
sure.
Great. I mean, that particular, I was like, I got a hit, so I gotta keep the magic going somehow. So I did that, which is funny because I tell my wife I'm not a superstitious person. And I'm really not unless I'm playing the sport, and then it becomes
serious.
It can get very serious.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah. And y'all made it. Y'all had a historic season.
Yeah, y'all had a great season
this
year.
We did.
Went farther than the Arabs ever gone. That's got to feel awesome.
It was again a special group of young men. I wish I could tell you about all of them. It would take a long time. The coaching staff that I get to work with, I'm telling you what, I can honestly say this. I mean, we're good friends in addition to just coaching together, you know?
Yeah.
We have Bible study together. We laugh and cut up. Sometimes people get a little cranky every now and then, but I mean, that's like any other friendship you have, you know, it's going to be a part of that. And
a real one. Yeah.
I look forward to going to work with those guys.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah. That's what you want. That's what you want, the camaraderie.
I tell you what, we've interviewed Lee Osment before COVID. When he talks, you feel like you want to run through a wall for him.
he has the ability to motivate.
He does.
There's no doubt. Yeah.
He's impressive. But anyway, I was going to ask you this because this is a good thing. So I think, tell us about some of the funny moments during coaching, some of the stuff that everybody may not get to hear, some funny events or moments or embarrassing things that you or one of your players has gone through, you know.
Okay. One in particular, so every now and then as varsity coaches, you would go to the junior high to help out in some way, like take them through spring training or whatever. So one afternoon we went over there to help the kids get fitted with helmets.
Right.
And I was working with a kid who I didn't know. He had never played before.
Yeah.
So he had never put a helmet on in his life. He didn't know how it would feel, how it should feel.
Yeah.
So we get a helmet on his head and we're able to, and you know, you kind of got to pull out on the outside and then, you know, pull it down.
Yeah.
And, you know, and he thought that it was stuck on his head forever.
Yep.
So he just started running around in circles and screaming, get this helmet off, get this helmet off. And we've after we got him to stop running around, we finally got the helmet off of his head. And I don't think he came back after that. He was done. He was
traumatized him.
I think I didn't mean to.
He needs a non-helmet sport is what he
He's like,
needs.
so I'm not going to play football
That-
because I can't get the helmet on.
Yeah, that's a true story. That's a true story.
That's so basketball headband is probably going to be as extensive as he goes.
No, he's not doing it.
He may not even do the headband.
Yeah, he didn't like the helmet. Did not like
That
it.
is the funniest thing.
I mean, yeah. Well, look, my head was so.
Imagine explaining that to somebody.
Yeah. My head was so big when I was a kid, and still is. My head was always really big. I was playing for the White Sox for Little League, and the White Sox are black and silver, and white. And the only helmet we could find that would fit my giant head was a big old red one. And my mom,
target on you.
Yeah, my mom was like. She told me she has always told me about my perfect nose, the perfect Worthington nose, because her family is Worthington, and she's like, you have the perfect Worthington nose, so I can just see a baseball coming in and hitting you in the nose. And so she put a plastic face mask around. So I had not only a giant red helmet and a big head, I was the only one with a face mask.
Thanks, Mom.
Around my perfect nose.
Yeah.
And I batted the worst I've ever batted, and so I
threw it off.
Yeah, I told her then I was like, you ruined my baseball career. The baseball career
Mom.
I was gonna have.
She had good intentions.
Yeah, she did. And now I'm a parent, and I'm like, I keep looking at my son. I'm like, he doesn't have a perfect nose, but I want to protect it as long as I can.
Sure.
So if you could, because we're closing down on the interview, could you give us, like, some of the advice that you give your players, some, like, if you want them to leave with one or two statements or one or two things, or, you know what I'm talking about, points that you want them to leave, when they leave you want them to say these things when they're old and gone, getting old.
Mm-hmm. I think most of all, I just want them to take away the understanding that in order to achieve anything in terms of greatness, I mean, first of all, you better pursue Christ. That's number one.
Yeah.
And you're never going to achieve true greatness by yourself. It takes other people.
Yeah.
And it takes those sometimes that you take for granted. So don't take them for granted.
Yeah.
Always say thank you. Always say how much something means to you. Don't let that pass away. And as a kid, you have to remind them of this. Have fun as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Play football. You want to play basketball? Go out for the basketball team.
Yeah.
You want to play soccer? Go do it. You want to play baseball? Try out. I mean, soak it up, kid.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be young once.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you play everything you can play. If you want to go try out for the choir, man, do that. I mean, just don't focus on one thing and let that become your identity.
Yeah.
Because it's you got a lot of life left after football. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Tom Brady is starting to learn right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean.
Yeah.
Think about it. I remember, I think it was after his third or fourth Super Bowl, he made a statement. He said, he's won 4 Super Bowls, and he says, there's got to be more to life than this.
Yeah.
And it's what you said. You know, when it's over and you can't do it anymore, you know, then what?
Right.
And so it's got to be what you said, more than that. And so.
Absolutely.
But Coach Hall, we so appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And I'm not shooing you off. We got 30 minutes left of the show.
I enjoyed it.
I so appreciate you. Like you said, to the deepest level, I've always thought the world of you.
Look,
so,
I'll tell you this much about myself, Coach Hall. Usually they can't shut me up on this thing, but you have such good advice and such wisdom. I just like, I'm not saying nothing. I'm gonna let this man go.
Well, you're kind. Thank you.
Well, I mean, sometimes you just let the lion defend himself, you know. And I don't need to say nothing. I was just like, this guy's got some good stuff. I ain't gonna ruin it.
And I remember as a teenager how much you meant to me. But I know Arab is blessed because they get you to invest in their teenagers.
Yeah,
and so,
yeah, man. We need coaches like you. They need coaches like you.
And like I said, FCA is important to you.
Sure.
Your Christian faith is. And when people see somebody who's successful in marriage, successful in their life, that's something you want to follow, or I think you should follow. So thank you so much for setting that example.
Absolutely, brother.
Well, it's an honor. It's an honor to be there, do what I do. I hope they keep letting me do it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they don't get rid of you.
Yeah. let's hope that temporary move remains permanent.
That's right. Might as well at this point.
Go ahead and lean into it.
Why go anywhere else?
Sure.
But anyway, that's Coach David Hall.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was
Arab famous, man.
That was a good interview.
So, Steven?
88.5 JFN is W.
Yeah, you can go if you want to, or you can stay.
Bro, you brought the interview fire, man. That was a good interview. I was just sitting back here just listening. I was like, man, you know, usually with kids, you know, you have to add a lot of filler and talk a lot. You know, some kids will talk more to you. Some kids will just not. It's like they've never had a microphone in their face, ever. But I just was sitting here. I was like, man, I can't. What this guy's saying, I can't make jokes after this. I just gotta. So Seth, I could tell Seth was like, look at him. I was like, you gonna say something? I'm like, well, I don't need to say anything. He's doing a great job himself.
I mean, I'll stick around. I mean, I'm good.
Yeah,
with whatever.
Yeah, brother. Stay with it. We're about to give away a 5-person all-day pass to B&B video games.
Cool.
Then we do more funny stuff, and then we have Greg Glasscock. He's the voice. He's Horizon Wireless. He's the voice of the Wildcats.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
He fills us in on what's happening by sport locally, and then we close the show.
You guys had Carter Duncan on earlier, right?
We did. Yeah.
He is a good man.
Carter really comes on almost every week.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Him or Candy.
Like Carter.
Yeah, my son, John David, he interned last year.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to be on their summer staff this year, so. And he would not miss it. I'm telling you, it is an experience beyond.
Yep.
I wish I could have had something like that in high school.
Yeah, me too.
Golly.
You know, Kim Burnett, he was the youth pastor, I guess, at Gillum Springs back when I was in high school.
He was.
And the FCA director, and I loved Ken. And what's been cool coming home, getting to link with Ken helps us. I mean, he's part of our show every week. And I mean, their group is.
Right.
Carter, Candy, I've had Roger, I've had Jamie Strange, and you know, all these guys over the last 5 years, and so it's been really good. So but man, FCA, I have been blown away with what Kim Burnett has created. With Fellowship of Christian Athletes in this area.
It has
unreal.
Its impact. Well, I mean, I tell you, 15 or 16 years ago, my wife and I went to a coach spouse marriage retreat.
Yes.
And it just made all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so cool to be around other coaches and just hear kind of what everybody was going through in terms of whether they'd been married for 2 years or 25 years.
Yeah.
Just to hear them faithfully, you know, be transparent about how much work it is and how much it's worth it. Again, I mean, and we've gone to probably, I would say close to a dozen of those retreats overall, maybe a little bit less, but we just went this past year as well.
Jealous, because those got to be good.
they're phenomenal.
They don't spare any expense either. They bring in people that we would want to bring in our church.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's phenomenal.
Yeah, some of the better ones. Dave and Ann Wilson. I don't know if you know those names, but he was.
We're bringing in 2 of them they've used before, Debbie and something. I can't. We're bringing them in this year.
Oh, Debbie and something.
They actually, somebody had seen them at the coach spouse thing
this year.
Not this year, in the last few years, and they said they were amazing. And so we're bringing them here and doing a marriage conference with this.
Yeah, that's
because they did so good at the FCA thing. So
right.
Yeah.
Dave Wilson. He was a. And I think he may still be this, but he was the chaplain for the Detroit Lions.
Wow.
And had been forever there.
Yeah.
And so I just remember going and listening to those 2 talk about, what their marriage was like, the hard times.
Yeah.
You talk about things that would be in a group of people saying what you went through with.
Yeah.
That would have been tough.
Yeah.
But they were honest and faithful and just great examples of how to overcome. And
wow.
Am I allowed to ask what church you go to in Arab?
So I go to Gillum Springs.
I don't know. Is that a Baptist? Is this a Methodist?
It's a Baptist church. We have not always been a part of that congregation. We moved within the past 5 years.
Okay.
We were going to Arab First United Methodist.
Okay, gotcha.
And so my son, who's a senior at Auburn, let's see, what year would that have been? His last year in high school.
Okay.
And then my son, who's a senior now, he's been there all throughout. So
gotcha.
His high school experience. So
wow. I love Matt. Is it Matthew Kobe?
Matt Kobe. Mm-hmm.
I love Matthew Kobe, and I loved Will Harbison.
Oh man, Will Harbison. You're talking about a good man right there.
Love both of those guys very much. They've become good friends of mine over time around here. But Will and I grew up at Arab together.
Okay.
I'm older than he is, but that makes me feel old when I say that. But
I'm from Birmingham. I'm from.
You don't know nobody.
Yeah, I know nobody up here. I met a pretty girl online, ended up marrying her, and
he did good for himself.
I outkicked my coverage, as they say.
I know exactly what you mean.
So
I did too. Hey, just like that video Steven popped up with the eyes.
She lived in Fort Payne, and that's where she's from. And so we went to I moved up there to her because it was a lot cheaper to live up there, and we were poor married married couple.
Oh yeah.
So now we live in Rainsville. Now I'm
living on love.
I'm the youth pastor. Yeah, I'm the youth pastor at Albertville First Methodist.
Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah, it's. I don't know anybody around here though. Seth is.
You know me.
I know Seth.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
We got 7 seconds. We're gonna give away some stuff.
Woo woo.
The Varsity Freestyle.
That means it's your chance to win a 5-person all-day pass to B&B Video Games. All you have to do is call in a minute. If you don't know the answer, it's okay. Get this. We are like phone a friend, and we know the answer, so we're going to help you. All you got to do is answer the first question. We'll do 2 more questions, and again, I've got the answer. So, number 1, what is the University of Alabama's team colors? What is the University of Alabama's team colors?
Want to win? Call us now at 256-505-0885.
I'm staring at. He does Photoshop all the time, so that's.
Greg, if I were to take my shirt off right now, that's exactly what I would look like.
No, it's.
I know it. I know that you're like, wow, he doesn't look like
that. Sorry, my phone's about to die.
It's all water weight, is what it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, water weight. Hey, if you're out there and you want to call 256-505-0885, B&B Video Games. Fun way to spend your weekend.
But we have.
You've gone before, hey?
We got 4 right here.
I
we
know.
just need one buddy, and we can all go together.
That's right.
And B&B Video
I tell you
games.
what, I'm gonna ask if nobody answers. I'm gonna ask Coach Hall and send it home so him and his son can have some quality time.
Take some of your offensive linemen.
Yeah,
some of your offensive linemen with you, the B&B Video games.
That can work.
So they've got this 80s style arcade in the back. It's really cool. This owner actually has 5 games in the back of the shop that were in the filming of Stranger Things season 2.
Oh.
So he actually rents out his video games to movies, like Pexels, the movie with Adam Sandler. And
Right.
He's rented off Donkey Kong to him. He's done Stranger Things. He's done, what was the zombie one?
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
He was on Walking Dead too.
He was an extra on Walking Dead.
He was a zombie on Walking Dead.
He's a super cool guy. Though.
Yeah,
I grew up on some Galaga.
No, now Galaga.
It's there.
Oh yeah,
it's there.
He can
the Street Fighters, all the Pac-Mans, all the.
He's just a cool dude. You could sit there and not even talk. I mean, you can talk about video games with him, but he'll just sit there and talk to you about anything and everything.
Yeah,
I feel like he knows everything that you would ever need to know.
Do they have pinball games?
Yes, I saw a pinball game there. I thought
can't
before.
remember.
I know they got.
Steven, we're gonna let Coach Hall play this game in a minute.
I know they got air hockey. No, air hockey.
Air hockey's big.
Air hockey, I can.
He doesn't have the answers in front of him, and I believe he's got this. So
I think he's got it.
What team colors?
What are the colors that represent the University of Alabama? I'm about to ask you on the radio. They're right in front of your face.
If you're not
there,
I'm gonna go with crimson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo-woo.
We'll do that on there in a minute.
Yeah, on the air. Yeah.
So we're doing teams. I'm talking about famous teams.
Orange and yellow.
Yeah.
The old Alabama Orange Tide.
Thank God. They have never been called that. Don't curse our
Orange
team.
and yellow. Man.
How do you, you're an offensive line coach. How long do we have, Steve?
12 seconds.
Okay. I'll just wait.
There ain't no place so.
So we want to enhance Coach Hall's weekend with
Boom.
his son. So we're creating a special experience at B&B for him by letting him answer these questions since nobody called in. That's okay. What are the colors that represent the University of Alabama?
All right, I'm going to go with crimson and white.
You have got it.
You
Nailed it. Okay.
You did it.
All right. Now, this is in your sport, I don't think. But what are the team colors of the Golden State Warriors?
The Golden State Warriors. I'm going to go with gold.
Yes.
And blue.
Yes! Nailed it. And you've got this because this comes from our time. What is the team mascot for the NBA team in Chicago? The Chicago...
I'm going with the Bulls.
Yes!
He did it!
He did it! He did it. It's that easy. It's that easy.
Taking the offensive line.
Hey, come over on Facebook Live. We're going to watch a few more funny videos before Greg the Man Glasscock comes in.
Gregory the Great.
I can't send you home without anything. So anyway,
Hey, listen,
I gave you a burger, but I gotta thank you somehow. So
well, I appreciate it.
That really is a fun place. It's by the Pizza Hut in Albertville.
Okay.
And
right.
got a video game store in the front and in the back. It's an all-day pass.
It's an all-day pass?
Yeah, it's unique.
That
They even have those
awesome.
games where you sit in the car and you drive them and stuff. And
okay.
Yeah, it's
hunting
a lot of
games.
fun. And
Really is.
going by Pizza Hut, I mean, seriously, you can just
80s Pizza Hut.
You can go by there
Kinda
and get some
perfect.
pizza with your boy.
Meant for
And
yeah.
Have him
So-
bring some friends.
How far away from Mater's is it?
it's
It's
actually
not
not
It's
far.
not far at all. Not far
You
at all.
live over that way.
Yeah,
5 minutes.
I mean, Mater's
Maybe.
is.
I love
Mater's
Mater's.
is
Tough to
incredible.
beat.
You are correct. Mater's is delicious.
they're building one here in downtown Gunnersville.
Well, they
it's going to be
should.
called Pizza Ed's.
Oh, okay.
Pizza Ed's. It's a Chicago deep dish style.
What?
Yeah.
There's a Chicago deep dish place going to be in Gunnersville?
Well, there's one at Mater's is like that, but
Well, yeah, but they don't like Mater's. Don't get me wrong, I like Mater's,
me
but
too.
like their Chicago deep dish is no, I don't think it's like a legit.
it's
I don't
Chicago themed.
I don't mean
actually,
that
the Pizza
mean,
Ed's.
but if there's like an actual Chicago deep dish coming here, that'd be
Yeah.
like we're talking about like
They started in
that
Hartselle.
thick.
They have one in Hartselle, and they're almost ready to open here in Gunnersville, downtown Gunnersville,
Didn't know that.
where the brick used to be.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, with the brick.
So yeah.
What happened to the brick?
Well,
Went
went away a while ago.
Just shut down.
Yeah.
I think they probably fell victim to COVID, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah, a lot of
places
people did. We got a new coffee shop in Gunnersville too.
Yeah.
So Moody's. So.
Oh yeah.
Like it. One of your fellow Sneed professors there. I mean, no, she's at the Sneed in Boaz. But she's one of the owners. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't taught for Sneed in a while, but
you did a good job.
I loved it. It was fun.
It was fun.
A lot of fun.
American Lit, and we had to read a crazy amount of stuff in between those classes.
Mm-hmm.
But man, Coach Hall always starts with a video. He's very illustrated, and it was really good.
That's what
really
you need.
Good.
You got to see it.
It was a really good class.
I always I loved literature. I was not much of a. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like science and like math, but literature and history were my two.
Me too.
Favorite subjects, and that's what I loved. Yeah, literature.
I've got a son that's in civil engineering, and
wow,
he is one of his favorite classes right now is called reinforced concrete.
That sounds.
That's one of his favorite.
Yeah. He tells me about reinforced concrete class.
I mean, that sounds like
learn how to build it.
He knows what he wants to do, and 100% that's awesome.
He does. Yeah.
And that's what he likes. And that's
great.
Son.
I just can't imagine getting really excited about reinforced concrete, but he is.
He's fired up.
But you know what? He's going to find a lady who's going to be like, I love hearing about reinforced concrete.
Mm-hmm.
And
I hope so.
Yeah.
You think so?
I love hearing about reinforced concrete on Valentine's Day. I just love it.
Yeah.
I need to text your son and get some facts so I can impress my wife when I get home. Like, baby, did you know this about reinforced concrete?
He's got it.
That works.
He's got it in
that works.
Spades.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Reinforced concrete.
I mean, nothing spices up the marriage more.
I know. Yeah.
Than talking about.
What's your go-to relationship?
Yeah, well, that's your son, so you can't take your son's topic.
You've heard that song, Love Can Build a Bridge?
Yeah, hey!
Reinforced concrete builds bridges, boys.
It does, my friend. You cannot.
Man, you set that up. That was good.
Get a little. It gets a little technical in the language, but I'm telling you, get beneath that, it gets spicy.
Love can build a bridge. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn some facts.
Is Greg there?
Tonight.
Yeah, we got Greg. He's ready to go. We got about 30 seconds.
Greg Glasscock.
Gregory the Great. The man.
Can you pull up the?
Yeah.
My phone just died.
Are you talking about the?
Yeah, the feed.
The feed.
Yeah.
So
like
on
the live.
Yeah. Give me a second.
My phone had like 30% when I walked in here.
Right.
That was my problem.
Brief hold, and we'll come up in about 10 seconds.
Now, sports analyst Greg Glasscock.
Greg, what's up?
Gregory!
What's going on, guys?
Hey, how you doing?
My man.
Oh, I'm doing great. Great day. Great day. A little bit warmer weather, but it's a great day. How are you guys doing?
We're fantastic, sir.
I'm sitting here reminiscing with one of the greatest coaches in Marshall County, I think. You know.
I actually got to listen to the interview with Coach Hall while I was working. That's a great interview.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Thank you.
An interview that shuts me up is a good interview. I mean, that's an interview
it's
right
impressive.
there. Yeah. It is impressive.
I tell you what, guys, people, school systems and coaching ranks and all need more men like him, and God definitely still works through his people. And
yes, it does.
I think about, I don't know, y'all might have mentioned it earlier in the show or maybe, but about what's going on at Asbury University in Kentucky.
Yes.
I mean,
awesome.
You know, we hear about all the evil in the world, but there's still some good out there, and God will reign when it's all said and done.
Amen. Yes, he will.
Love
No
it,
doubt.
Greg. That's some good preaching, Greg. You should have done clutch
Yeah, that'll
today.
preach today, friend.
Yeah.
That'll preach.
So,
Seth, he's running you out of a job.
I know. Thanks, Greg. Okay. Greg, tell us what's been going down in the wonderful world of Marshall County sports.
Well, we're wrapping up basketball season. I'll be on my way in a few minutes down to Douglas to cover the Gunnersville-Douglas game, and we're in a situation now, guys, where it's, win or go home. And last night the girls were victorious over Douglas, so they're going to JSU on Friday, and Also want to give a little bit of a shout out, maybe a tad bit of an upset. Arabs girls went to Sardis and won.
That's right.
That was great. You know, I think the world of Coach Kitchens. He does a great job there, and you know, I'm happy for them. There's a good chance if we keep winning, we can meet in the region finals, which to me would be scary because it'd be the 5th time to play each other this year, and the last 2 have been a little too close for comfort for me. So, but it's good to see Marshall County represented. So hopefully, Gunnersville's boys can pull it out tonight, and they will be there also Friday. The setup right now for the girls in 5A and at Jacksonville in the Northeast region, Arab's going to play Springville. Gunnersville's going to play Southside. So, and then boys will be determined after tonight. And then, you know, we got the regionals coming up, and then winners that come out of there will go to the Final Four in Birmingham. So, you know, one of my favorite times of year. Like I always say, it goes way too fast. Seems like it just started. Now we're nearing the finish line. So, good time of year. No doubt about it.
Well, Greg, you always have the great information that I have no idea.
Yeah.
But that's exciting. Hopefully, Arab and Gunnersville will both progress.
Yeah, it would be good if they both beat. And I really think in that first round game in Jacksonville, nothing against their opponents, but I think they both have a
good chance.
Great chance. Yeah, of course, Gunnersville's trying to repeat as state champs, which is always hard to do. It seems like you always have that bullseye on your back when you're a state champ. And they've kind of come out of the gate slow the last few games, and I mentioned on the broadcast last night. You know, as they go further on, they might meet up against somebody you start off slow, and you're not going to be able to catch up. So
that's a good point.
Yeah,
got to get out quicker starts, and I'll see what the boys will do tonight. It'll be first time they played Douglas since the county tournament a couple of years ago, and it'll be very interesting because it'll be Coach Self's first return to the Douglas sideline. Or to the sideline at Douglas since he's been there. So I figure it's going to be an amped-up environment, which, I mean, that's the way it should be when you've got two county rivals playing each other to see who advances and whose season's over with. So, I'll be looking forward to it this evening.
Well, thank you, Greg. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to hear who won this time next week. We'll have a pretty good idea of Final Four, won't we?
It'll be getting close because when we talk next week, it'll be on Tuesday. So for 5A, the region finals will be Wednesday morning.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
It'll be the eve of. So we'll at least know who the pairings are when we get together again.
Woo woo!
Wow, sounds good, Greg. Thank you so much for your time, your effort, and all your advice, man. We love to hear that info.
Can't wait for you to take over for Seth next week.
Thanks, man.
You're the man, Greg.
I look forward to talking to you guys again next week.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Greg.
See you, Gregory.
Talk to you later. See you.
You say I'm impatient. You say I'm forgetful. You say that
we got to hear part of music.
Gregory the Great.
Gregory.
Hey, man, he knows. I mean, he knows everything about Marshall County. I feel
does.
like if there's a man that I need to talk to about that knows the in and outs of Marshall County.
During your football season, man, he was.
I mean, it's just like boom, 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 boom.
He is.
Oh, and then we got this, and we got this coming up, and got the boy, and just like.
He takes good
Bro,
notes.
I mean, he knows. He knows everything.
That's awesome.
So you got a rock star video?
Yeah. I've got a few rock star videos.
Yeah, we're almost done, but I can't let
it's
Coach
flown
Hall
by
be
today,
here
man.
without one of those videos.
It's flown by today, brother.
I wonder, does Coach have any pets?
He's got a dog.
We do. We have a chocolate lab.
Yeah. All right. So you guys, your dog people, not really liking cats, or just.
I prefer dogs.
Yeah,
not
me too.
a cat person.
I got you. Me too. So okay, well then here's a little dog video. Every now and then, if you got two dogs, they get kind of jealous of each other. It's understandable.
Mom!
No, it's my turn to sit with Daddy.
No, it ain't.
You go sit with Mama.
No.
Boy,
No.
go.
I ain't going.
Go.
I ain't going.
Why?
Why? It's my daddy time.
Whatever. This me and my daddy time. Rub me, Daddy. Show him this our time. See, let me get this off my coat. There. Where you putting them outside? No, what you doing, Daddy? Daddy, don't rub him.
Thank you, Dad.
Oh, Daddy, don't rub him.
He nails the voiceovers.
That's classic.
That is classic. That's good. It's not as good as the Schwarzenegger. Like, it's good.
Like those
like
mountains.
Yeah, the mountains.
The mountains over there.
So what's your dog's name?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
His name is Teal.
Teal. An inside dog, outside dog?
He has, well, he's both, but
wherever he wants to be.
This past winter, he's become more of an inside dog.
I got you. Is he happy to see you leave, or does he not want you to leave every time you leave?
Well, I feed him just before I leave, so he's happy to eat. so yeah, he likes that. I mentioned it. Does he want to go eat breakfast? And he always does. He's ready to go.
Awesome.
Of course.
So you bribe him with food before you head out the door.
It's like my son. I bribe him with food.
Well, lots of times your dog just doesn't want you to leave. They're just waiting for you to come back from work. So it might be something like this.
Don't leave. Please, don't leave. Don't leave. Stop. I don't even like these people. Come on, please. Don't go. Don't go. Don't go. Promise you go. Promise. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Little separation anxiety there.
Yeah.
Just as bad.
Yeah.
Just as bad. Yeah. Just a small little dosage of that separation anxiety.
Yeah. One of those things. All right, cats are devious little creatures. I don't really like cats that well.
Satanic.
They're just, I don't know. They're really moody. I had a cat when I was a kid. His name was Lester, and Lester was very moody.
Yeah.
And so it just turned me off to cats. Well,
that
they're
makes sense.
very stubborn sometimes, and they get what they want. Here, take a look.
In this life, you gotta do it yourself, man. You gotta pull yourself up by your paw straps. Like Eminem say, you only get one shot, man. You only get one moment. You gotta lose yourself, man. They putting the snacks high. I'm gonna get through everything to get, man. You can put the stove in the way, the microwave, the cabinets. I'm gonna get all up in that still, man. I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me. Feel every piece of what I'm saying, man. You can't hold me back. I'm a cat, you know what I'm saying? We gonna get on. We gonna get ours for sure, man. I'm gonna have some pieces.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I gotta give credit to that little monster.
Yeah.
Getting up there, getting that stuff.
Yeah.
So we're coming in on Buzzer Beater. This is the end. This is where we tell people where to find us on social media. And so when we come up, there are
going to be some graphics up there on the screen, and he'll tell you which one to talk about.
Facebook.
Yeah, I do the Facebooks.
Well, you can start with Instagram.
Oh, you want to do Instagram?
Coach Hall, do you mind taking Facebook? You can find us at Varsity Radio Show. Steven, Twitter, and TikTok, and then I'll do podcast and close the show.
Yep.
Rock and roll.
Thank you for being on here with us.
You're the man.
Enjoyed it.
Coach Hall, you're the man.
You got to get your autograph and take your picture.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And so,
I've got one more rock star video.
Please.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thank God.
Play it.
Yeah, here.
Play it again, Sam.
I just play it.
Get up and fight me. Come on. I'm ready.
You ready?
Ow.
Oh.
You ready now?
Ow.
What about that?
Ow.
You ready for that? How about this?
Oh.
What is
This? I thought you was ready. Stop. He was trying. He not ready.
It's like my two young kids.
That's like my son with me. He sees me laying on the couch. He wants to come over and just
my 5 and 3
up.
year old right there.
Yeah.
That's what y'all just saw.
1.5-year-old at home. He's a mess.
Yeah.
He's awesome, but he's a mess.
Add another one.
Yeah.
10 seconds, guys.
The Buzzer Beater.
All right, everybody. Oh, I thought you wanted me to.
No, go ahead.
Okay. All right, everybody. You can find us on social media, on Instagram, at Varsity Radio Show.
or on Facebook at Varsity Radio Show.
And we're on Twitter and we're on TikTok as well at Varsity Radio 885 on Twitter, at Varsity Radio Show over on TikTok.
Podcasts, we're everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Spotify, iHeartRadio.
Yep.
You can find this show as a podcast tomorrow.
Everyone.
And you know what? If you need some motivating, you need somebody to inspire you, I suggest you just take out the Coach Hall part and just listen to it over and over and over again in your headphones.
Or go try out for the offensive line.
Yes.
And he will motivate you.
That's right. If you're an Arab, you're really missing out. So the Char Burger, the home of the famous Char Grill, Wildcat Burger, Philly cheesesteak, and Jumbo crispy onion rings.
Man.
They are the fuel of the varsity, and let's never forget B&B video games.
You guys are going to have a lot of fun there, Coach Hall.
I am looking forward to it big time.
It really is a cool place.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is beside the Pizza Hut. It's got a video game retail store in the front, 80s style arcade in the back.
Albertville Mullet.
They're open. They're open all week long. Albertville Mullet. Okay. Anyway.
Business in the front, party in the back.
Yeah,
son. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, we'll be back here next week. Same varsity time, same varsity place. 88.5 JFM. We'll see you there.
Boom shakalaka.